are slowly coming in here. Welcome. My hat looks crooked. I look like fucking Kevin Federline. I already started cursing. Off to a bad start.
Yeah, dude.
Welcome to the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. We're live right now on YouTube, on Twitch, on Periscope. All of those comments are connected, so we will get every single one of them. Real quick before we start, obviously today we're doing a mock draft. This is our first official AVG Fantasy Football mock draft. Are you guys excited, dude? You guys look so excited over there.
Mock draft 1.0?
Mock draft 1.0. We're in May. We're 3 months out. This looks like the fantasy football season, or the football season, is going to start on time so far. That's what I don't know. That's what I think. But
for sure.
I'm just laughing at how white you are. Not
I know. It's insane.
Look good, dude.
Okay, so give me a second. So we got a pretty fun episode for you guys today, doing the mock draft. Before we start, I just want to say follow us on YouTube if you haven't already. Subscribe to our YouTube there. Like this video. Follow us on Instagram. Hit us up with any messages, any advice you need. Hit us up on Twitter as well if you need to. And then if you're listening to this in the future, not live right now, leave us a review. Give us a rating on the Apple Podcast app or whatever podcast app you use. And a real big shout out to 2 people that came into our draft and drafting with us today. Actually 3 technically. We got Laces Out Fantasy Football on Instagram. If you go down in the description, we have a link to his Instagram. Puts out really good content. Really, like, you know, we're just trying to get you guys to win. So we want to let you know there's other people out there besides us that make it happen for your fantasy football league. And Laces Out Fantasy Football is one of those guys. Also, check out Real Deal Fantasy HQ. It's your boy LQ over there. He really holds it down. I'm not gonna lie, he puts out an insane amount of content. He puts out videos literally every day. So his link to his YouTube channel is down in the description below. So go check him out too. He'll be drafting with us. I think Laces Out is in the 11th spot, and then Real Deal Fantasy is in, the 9th spot. So I just want to get that out of the way before we start this podcast, or excuse me, this episode.
For sure, yeah. Appreciate you guys joining us with this mock draft.
Yeah.
It should be a good one.
Yeah, mucho. All right, should we get it started?
We got Nathan in the chat. What's up, Nathan? All right. Yeah, let's do it. Let me end this here right here.
How do you comment?
You let me know. I pushed a button.
You said let's go. Okay. We got it right here. Yeah, go ahead. You can start it.
I mean, first pick, it is what it is. And zing. The draft.
Jesus.
It's a 12.
Usually some will pick that fast.
By the way, it's a 12 team half point PPR draft. We didn't do defenses or kickers. It's a minute between each round. But yeah, go ahead.
2 flex.
Yeah. All right. So your boy T's in the 2 spot right here. I would have just went with either one. I thought Saquon would have went. Chris McCaffrey would have went first. I was going to take Saquon, but I'll just take CMC right here in the 2nd spot. I would have taken either one of these guys in the 2 spot.
Yeah, back and forth.
Tough decision right there.
You know. All right, now we got Dayton. Oh, he just got on. I see you.
Oh, we had a late login?
No. I mean,
no, he was in, but he's in.
Oh.
You know.
Like he's in. And now Dat Murr's on the clock. This is one of your boys, right, Andre?
Yep. Dayton, he's on
Dayton.
here.
Appreciate you, Dayton, coming on and running this with us.
Yeah, some of these mock drafts, like we were talking about before off air, is I picked a spot I don't really want to be picked in the real draft because it's like it gives me practice. Like ideally, there's certain spots I would like to have, and I picked one where I'm like, okay, this is not a spot that I really like to be in. But you got to start getting ready for worst case scenarios or your worst case scenario. Everyone might have a different opinion, but this is not where I personally want to draft.
Yeah. All right, so Big Nick Diggers. And then we got the Medicine Man is on the clock. The Medicine Man is actually our medical analyst. He's our medical correspondent.
Something new to the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. We have an official
scientist,
doctor,
scientist.
Is it doctor?
Doctor, aka the Medicine Man.
The Medicine Man takes the first receiver off the board.
So we got Zeke with the Cowboys.
Oh, that's me. I'm up.
What do you guys think with Zeke? With
I feel like it's hard to say much on these first ones because it's kind of you know what you're getting almost.
Yeah, I mean, like I was on Tyler off. I was like, I want to put Dalvin Cook at 2, but it's just the injury history for me that has a hard time putting him at 2.
100%.
It's like we've seen Zeke year after year. The dude's just not going down. I mean, knock on wood if you draft him, but it's just like he plays 16. He can carry it for 300 carries and whatever catches, and he just doesn't seem to be phased. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas, not really a surprise first receiver off the board, right?
No.
Yeah.
Mike, what are you thinking over there?
Yeah, I'm thinking hard over here, to be honest.
I would probably, if I'm at 5, I would take Michael Thomas at that spot before any other back as well too.
I'm going to go with...
Alvin Kamara.
Devontae Adams, okay.
Yeah, I'd switch it up a little bit.
Receiver run, dude.
Okay, so then we have the two computer picks right here.
Which is fine.
They're going back to back. Alvin Kamara and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I mean, I just went Devontae Adams, to be honest, just because there was only... It's like the running backs kind of fell off right there. And I don't know how I feel about Hopkins in Arizona.
Yeah, I love Devontae Adams, one of my favorite players.
I just feel like he's the last standing offensive receiver.
Derrick Henry, huh? Yep.
Yeah, so Real Deal Fantasy comes in with Derrick Henry at the 9 pick.
Which is right around where he's going, right? I mean, he's gonna get the touches.
Yeah, he'll be after that season. He'll be a consensus top 10 pick.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Offense goes through him.
Now Anthony's on the clock.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the last of my elite tier wide receiver right here.
Yeah.
Just to play it out.
Julio?
Yeah.
Julio, dude, you can't go wrong with Julio Jones. I'm not mad at it.
Dude just balls everywhere.
Well, one thing with Julio, it's like, I think we went over the wide receiver rankings before. It's like he's like always there. He's always like the wide receiver 3, 4, 5. Like he's always right there. A couple, every now and then he'll get up to like the 2. I don't think he really finishes the wide receiver 1, but you know what you're gonna get when you draft in Julio Jones.
Yeah, and Matt Ryan throws him the ball like.
Yeah, and I played that to like my position on the draft to people who are listening or watching. Is there's 4 picks away from picking again, and I feel like another receiver is going to go, and there's 4 running backs I don't mind getting on the way back. So it's like, all right, and if all 4 go, I'll make an adjustment there. If not, then all right, I'm taking one.
I mean, target-wise, he's probably going to get more than Tyreek Hill. I mean, I'm looking right now. He's got 203, 130, 148, 170, 157. Those are his last, 6 years, 5 years.
So laces out goes DeAndre Hopkins.
And if you play in like one of those,
no, go ahead.
If you play one of those bonus leagues, Julio's one of those 100-yard guys who just does it like week after week, where it's like, he doesn't get that huge touchdown total, but he has it a few times. But those extra 3 points for a 100-yard bonus is basically half a touchdown.
For sure.
So he's almost getting you an extra half a touchdown. I'd say 90% of the games.
So what we got? No D-Hop. Oh, no, Turbo's. Oh, done. Josh Jacobs.
I love Josh Jacobs. I was just looking at some stats right here. In terms of like elusiveness, I think he was 69 forced missed tackles in terms of just running the ball. That wasn't including the reception side of causing forced missed tackles. But 69 forced missed tackles Josh Jacobs had last year as a rookie. It was the most in the entire NFL.
And the dude played with a broken shoulder. Let's not forget that from week 8 or 9 on. So it was like more than half the season. So.
Oh, he went Mahomes. Okay.
My homie.
My homies.
We got the first quarterback off the board.
Got Mahomes.
Hey, no quarterbacks in the first round, so
He stuck to it. Stuck to it. I mean, Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, they're going to be going. It's going to be it's a preference thing. I mean, someone's going to be like, I want him this year, with those guys. Especially, they were league winners, I'm sure, for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
They were super, super involved in league winning teams. So, I mean, depends on the league that you're in, whether it's QB friendly or not, but he's going to be at the top anyway, right?
For sure, yeah. All right, so now Laces Out is on the clock. He went DeAndre Hopkins with his first pick, 11th overall. He goes Lamar Jackson. So we got back-to-back quarterbacks coming off the board.
What was
I was
that?
thinking, it said, in the league, when you take a quarterback, it says, wow.
Oh, that scared me.
Yeah, I was so confused.
But my face matched it. I thought he was going to go running back.
Yeah, so the gamble on Julio Jones actually I think even paid off for me. I was considering possibly if I was looking at the running backs, Joe Mixon probably would have been the next one I would have taken, and I was able to get in my eyes like that last tier of a top tier receiver and still get Joe Mixon in the next round. So
gamble paid off.
Yep, man.
Mac attack goes Joe Mixon.
Love Joe Mixon this year. I think he's got top 5 upside in him with that offense. You go out and You get Burrow, you get Higgins, AJ Green back. You just get a healthy Ross who can stretch the field. Get the left tackle back. So
shit just
I
flew
love Joe
through.
Mixon.
We had Nick Chubb go next. Travis Kelce, the first tight end off the board, and Aaron Jones. Those are both computer picks. The last two, Travis Jones and Aaron Jones.
Damn.
Did I say Travis Jones? Travis Kelce and Aaron Jones. That boy Travis Jones.
Damn,
he's a
I'm
sleeper.
up. Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean you're getting close.
There we
to
are.
it.
I'm right here. All right.
So
let's do
best
this
available,
pick, huh?
best available on the app. I mean, just in general. I mean, we're looking. You got Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. You still have Miles Sanders, Fournette. You have Eckler, Galladay.
The computer did double up on Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce.
Which I mean,
It's not bad, but
Mahomes is that dude.
yeah, I don't know. What would you guys feel about that in real life as like a strategy?
Some
I think
people
I
could
would
think that, hey, if, because obviously one of them, if Mahomes is going to throw for 40-plus touchdowns, obviously all of them can't go to Kelsey, all of them can't go to Tyreek Hill. But if you can get, 2/3 of those,
Yeah.
10-plus each, I mean, that's not a bad strategy right
mean,
there.
I've seen
1,000-plus yards for each of those guys, realistically.
I've seen it pay off for people when they were able to get Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce in some leagues back like 2 years ago because you were able to pull because of ADP. So, don't hate it. I think you do limit your upside a little bit. Kelce was kind of going in the first round almost last year. So, this year he's going in the second. So to Tyler's point, if Mahomes throws 40-plus again, it could be some weeks where you get all 4 of Mahomes' touchdowns and Kelce and Hill.
And they're the two most targeted guys.
So real quick, I picked Chris Godwin. I went double receiver. I'm a little bit scared about it, to be honest.
Miles Sanders.
And then Miles Sanders comes off the board.
Doctor taking my boy.
Love it.
Yeah.
Medicine Man's listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
I was about to get him anyway,
We
but
just posted. We actually, if you're listening to this right now, we did just post a Miles Sanders little video. If you guys want to go check that out, we're a little bit high on Miles Sanders. A bunch of us are, but
all right, it's on me.
Would
now.
you say
got-
we're mile high?
We're mile high. I mean, I am all the way. All right, so surprise. I mean, we made it through. Well, actually, we're not all the way through. It's on me. Let's see here. Running backs.
you going running back then.
Nope. I'm actually going Kenny Galladay.
Ooh, Kenny Galladay.
I mean, when I look at receivers, even whether it's the second round or the 10th round, I try to. I mean, opportunity and target. So I mean, he's gonna get both, and they're gonna probably be behind a lot. They were like one of the worst defenses in football. So, on top of everything we've already talked about, that T-Rev did last episode with Galladay. So,
Yeah. That was actually going to be my guy right here. But this is why it's good to do mock drafts, because you will get snaked in your real draft, and you have to have a kind of a backup plan. So this is always good to know, like, okay, if these players come off the board, then I have a backup option right here.
do you have a plan B?
I do have a plan B. I was going to go Galladay right there, but we see your boy Dayton's on the clock right now. So we'll see when it gets to me. Hopefully he doesn't snake the next guy I was thinking about.
He's gonna get.
But I do have two guys kind of in my range.
This is
right
what I
here
always
of
tell
what I want.
people: is plan on getting your player snaked every time you're picking before.
Yeah, have at least 3 picks in mind for sure.
Don't be hopeful. I
honestly-
do it all the time. Where I'm like, oh god, he's right there. Just one more, and then it will fuck you every time. So
Yeah, because you can't just
plan
think.
5 ahead.
The person in front of you might like that player just as much as you do, or if not, even more potentially. So it's, you got to kind of assume that.
No, for sure. While T's on the clock.
Because then you'll make a panic pick if you don't have anything ready
Unless
to go.
he's ready. He's looking.
All right, I'm gonna go right here with my boy Kenyon Drizzy Drake. I think he's got top 10 upside in that offense. I mean, if you're basically drafting David Johnson in the first round last year, I mean Drake was just a more faster, explosive David Johnson, and he just fit that Cliff Kingsbury offense way better. You get the linemen to boost the line. You got Kyler Murray, you can run the ball, so you can't really keen in on the run game right there. So yeah, I love Drake's upside in this Arizona Cardinals offense.
Do it. And then we got Mike Evans. Was it 6 straight 1,000-yard seasons?
Oh, the pressure's back on you. Computer fucking flipped it.
I see you on that date.
Hey, low-key, I love doing this in drafts. So, like, if you're picking at the turn, I love picking back-to-back super fast, so the guy in front of me has to pick really quick because it, like, makes him like, oh, shit. People get pissed about it. I'm like, bro, you fucking.
That's
I'm
a lot
ready.
of running backs in those first 2 picks.
Yeah.
Like-
All right. So the guy goes Leonard Fournette, Melvin Gordon. So I'm pretty hyped right here because the guy who I wanted to get, I was actually debating whether to take him ahead of Drake and then maybe trying to get Drake on the back end right here. But I'm, fantasy football, obviously, you kind of want to go or root for some of these your favorite players and whatnot. So that's why I went Drake. But I'm super stoked right here to get Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of LSU with the Chiefs. So let me find him on the sleeper box.
You son of a bitch.
And I mean, I'm pretty stacked on running backs. I feel like right now, CMC, Kenyon Drake, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So now I feel like I can kind of really focus on the rest of my lineup going through this mock draft.
All right. So you took him Yeah, he took him over some vets over. What made you want him over Montgomery? Just the Chiefs in general, basically, just the offense.
Just the Chiefs. I mean, like you said, when the coach calls Mahomes and says, who do you want, and your MVP, Super Bowl MVP says, hey, I want this guy. You're going to utilize him. I know Damian Williams is still there, but he's only got 1 year left on the contract. How much did they utilize him? I mean, you don't go out and draft a rookie in the first round, especially when your quarterback wants him and you don't at least use him to some time. And plus, he's my third running back in a sense, or my second running back. So
for sure.
I was going to say there could be some early season risk with him, but to your point is you already had 2 running backs, so even if there is a couple or some risk with him in the beginning, you're not tied to him as your RB2 or RB1.
Yeah.
What do you think of so we got Eckler. While I'm on the clock, y'all talk about that.
Yeah, Eckler came off. Look at there's so many running backs coming off.
Austin Eckler. So, when Melvin Gordon was in the holdout, he pretty much earned that contract extension he got in the offseason. I think he was making like $6 million a year now. A guy who was undrafted coming into the league. I mean, what are your thoughts on him? I feel like kind of the numbers he put up are maybe a little unsustainable, even a new offense with that right there. But I'm thinking at least RB2 floor, like a safe, consistent RB2 with Eckler.
The quarterback has a lot of variable. I probably won't have many Austin Eckler shares because his ranking where he's going is going to be around this range. Tyrod Taylor's never been one to really dump off to the quarterback, and we don't know Justin Herbert's tendencies yet. And I mean, they did draft another running back, Justin Jackson, right? Who was there? He was seeing just about almost from a carry standpoint, it was pretty close in carries, and now they added another running back to that. So if this offense is staying in the same, where he's going to rely on this. It was Phillip Rivers who threw to him over and over. That was a Phillip Rivers thing for sure. That's why, even with Jonathan Taylor, something I do factor in is he might not see the field on many passing downs, but Phillip Rivers will check down a lot. So he might even get some of those check downs that he wouldn't get from most quarterbacks.
Oh, my niece is over here. What's up, Avi? I see you. My brother's on there. I mean, for the third round, I mean, at least for a RB2, that's not bad. You can't be mad at that. I mean, same thing. That's what I did with Le'Veon. Can he put up 1 if Adam Gase stops running terrible plays? Maybe, but as an RB2, I'll take him. I mean, he finished as an RB2 last year, and his season was like blah. So
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, blah. So I like my first 3 picks. I mean, you got Cooper Kupp after that. I mean, medicine man, loading up. I mean, I like his first 3 picks too.
Yeah, so I'm in a spot right here where I got 2 receivers and a ton of running backs came off the board. So
you better grab one.
But then you get put in this situation. I mean, we just were talking about David Johnson the other day, going pretty later here. But then you have him in this app. A lot of times, a lot of these guys will follow these apps, and if it suggests David Johnson in there early, you might lose him. So I might not get him at the ADP I want. But I don't know if I want to jump on him that early. Oh shit! It picked for me. I didn't even realize.
You're here talking and pick.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Thanks for the countdown, guys. Jeez.
I mean, you got 3 good receivers, bro.
I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, this is one thing since it just happened organically. I mean, this is why you want to do multiple mocks. I mean, some people do like taking 3 receivers and then, fighting their running backs later. So, I mean. You never know, but now you're for sure going running back.
But maybe your guy will fall to you.
To be honest, there's a couple guys I've seen farther down that I'm not mad at.
Yeah. I was actually looking at George Kittle, and he went right before me.
Yeah.
But, hey.
Look at that. That happens. Real deal fantasy just went and sniped you.
No, there's no such thing as a snipe to me.
A snipe?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
because if that player wanted him right there, is it a snipe? No.
I mean, Thielen in the third. I mean, that's a wide receiver 1. Going in the third, that's
I love
sleeper.
Thielen
That's like
this
a
year. I mean, with no Diggs there, I know they get Justin Jefferson. Maybe we see a little bit more Irv Smith Jr., the tight end at Alabama, his second year in the league. But yeah, I love
These
Thielen.
rankings are fucking me up.
Going forward in this year. I mean, don't forget, that was it 2 years ago where they had that crazy start to the season, like 8 or 9 straight 100+ yard receiving games with Kirk Cousins. So
and a tug,
obviously the connection between those two is there. Thielen obviously battled some injuries last year. They weren't passing a ton in the beginning of the year either. So, but yeah, I love Thielen going forward this year.
Ooh.
So Anthony goes and grabs Allen Robinson. You're big on Allen Robinson this year.
No, I'm just chasing
his numbers were there though.
Numbers were there. Number 1 receiver. I mean, there's not a lot of new targets coming in. You have Anthony Miller supposedly healthy. You got to figure Foles is at least an upgrade from Mitch Trubisky. And then he did rate out as basically elite against man last year. He was like one of the top corners. I think he was like 97th percentile against man last year.
And he had Trubisky throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, so I'm just kind of I've always thought he's talented. You know, I kind of worried about the ACL, and it took him a year and a half. It seems like to recover, but I mean, dude's never had a good quarterback, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't just go out and show 97th percentile against man and not be able to get open. Opposite of Juju.
Sure.
For sure.
Right?
All right, so Laces Out comes with A.J. Brown with his third pick. Just a crazy #interesting stat I saw today. A.J. Brown is the only receiver since the Super Bowl era to have 1,000, rookie at least, sorry. He's the only rookie to have 1,000 or more receiving yards at a 20 or more yards per catch average in the Super Bowl average. So, I mean, yeah. He's pretty good.
He was balling, yeah, and it was when Tannehill came in too. So,
Yeah.
at the beginning, it was like whatever. Mariota doesn't like to air it out, and then wow, Keenan Allen. I mean, someone's got to eat over there. I like Keenan Allen. I mean, dude's route running is ridiculous.
Do you
Dude's a
think
football
that
player. I like him?
he has an uptick from last year with Justin Herbert possibly coming in? And
I don't think he can get more of an uptick. He was seeing
Yeah, dude, he was
140, 130 targets like 3-4 years in a row now. And I think that number drops dramatically. I think, if he sees like 110, I think that'll be like his ceiling. I think they spread the ball down a little bit more. Maybe they don't air it out as much when they had with Rivers there.
So are you fading Keenan Allen? You don't take him in any leagues?
I would not.
No?
I'm going to stick with my other guy in that
David
Chargers wide receiving core, Mike Williams. I think, if he can just get 90 targets last year from Mike Williams, like I said, if Keenan Allen's not getting 140, 130, if Mike Williams get a couple of those and he gets into the 100-plus target range, I mean, we've seen him put up some crazy numbers, on the limited targets he's had. I think it was only like 66 targets, 10 touchdowns one year. And then last year, only 90 targets, and he goes over 1,000 yards. I think something with his, catches for, how many catches he had to go over 1,000 yards, it's like a rare feat. It's only happened a couple times in the entire NFL. So just a couple more targets for Mike Williams. Yeah, I think I love the upside. Guy's a physical freak.
let's Anthony, what are you thinking here? Anthony goes Mark Ingram. Oh, that was Laces Out. Excuse me. Laces Out goes Mark Ingram. 20 seconds to spare on his. Anthony's on the clock. 50 seconds.
I'm gonna do this on purpose, but
let's see it.
I'm gonna go a third wide receiver just to see how my draft plays out.
Yeah, and this is good. That's a good point to do that, to be honest, because it is good to kind of mess yourself up or
see
totally
what happens.
Yeah,
well,
and that's kind of what I didn't mean for this to happen. I tried to have a little bit of balance, but it's not. It is good to see what will happen if you draft 3 receivers, where you're going to be at.
Well, it's 3 out of the first 4. It could have been I went running back in my first round and then went 3 receivers next. So I just kind of want to see how this plays out right here and see if I like where I go. I mean, I got potentially 3 top 12 receivers right here in my first 4 picks, and I have a stable RB1 right here. Now, if this is, I would probably like a strategy a little bit more if it was full PPR, because that second RB I could probably try and tier towards someone who's a little bit more of a pass catcher or has more pass catching upside. But there's some guys I think that could possibly fall back in the next pick with me that I'll like taking right there.
I'll take him.
You will?
I'll take them.
All right, what we got?
Where we got Real Deal. He's on the clock. He picks James Conner, goes Devin Singletary, Tyler Lockett, and then your boy is up. I'm in need of a fucking running back.
Yeah,
or a receiver.
I mean,
I could go receiver.
I feel like I know who you're gonna get.
Who do you think I'm gonna get?
David Montgomery.
I am thinking about it. Yeah, because there's a couple other guys. Honestly, because I do have to go running back heavy right here where I'm at. But there's multiple guys I'm looking at on this running back list on the app that I'm not mad at. So yeah, and I don't think David Montgomery is going to be there on the turn. So I'm going to go David Montgomery.
Yeah, I mean, and out of the guys left, he's going to get the most touches. I mean,
right.
Yeah, and based off of your team, you're almost kind of you can't. I mean, I don't want to say some of the names, but there's definitely some upside guys coming up. But you have 3 wide receivers, and I don't know if you can afford to have your RB1 a guy that's not going to pan out or be a starter
or be sketchy. You don't know.
Yeah,
Medicine Man. I was about to get Gurley too.
Yeah, at least with Montgomery. I mean, the rookie season might have been disappointing for a lot of people. I know a lot of people, including myself, were pretty high on him. But I mean, for a guy who's going to see 250 plus touches, and hopefully he just gets a little bit more involved in the passing game. I mean, he was another guy where crazy interesting stat with him was, back-to-back years in college, there was only one player, or it was only happened twice in college where person has 100 or more forced missed tackles. They were both David Montgomery. Last year he was top 10 in the NFL. I think he was like 7th or something like that with like 50 something forced missed tackles.
I mean, here I'm gonna go based on. Man, you know what? Remember this moment. I'm gonna take a risk. For the sake of sakeness, we'll see if he gets back to me. I was about to pick him here though. In that case,
Well, you got 9 seconds.
oh, dude, 9 seconds.
5.
4, 3, 2.
I'll take Marlon.
Marlon Mack, not afraid.
Marlon Mack
Getting
over
that-
Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, that's
Yep,
interesting.
just
I
just
mean-
because I don't want to force it either. I mean, if at this point, I always like to draft a trade. So whether maybe hoping he does good and then ship him off, or he's still going to get some love. I mean, it's a long season, so I mean, I don't know how everyone else plays, but usually the team I draft, it's not the team I finish with. So
I mean, you do make a lot more trades than almost anybody I know.
I mean, I like.
Yeah.
Nathan-
These two guys make a
Nathan
lot
and
more trades than.
Nathan in the YouTube chat, that's Laces out. Laces says, wait, can you guys read it? I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want us to read? Speak to me later.
The second one. I mean, read it out loud.
Deebo Samuel. Well,
He's like mumbling it to himself.
Yeah, you're right.
I said, what do you want me to read?
The third.
Oh, he's late. Oh, okay.
That's
I got
lazy.
you.
Debo Samuel comes off the clock next. I love Debo Samuel. He's one of my favorite like middle round guys. I think he's, if you can get him, you're gonna joke when I say this, but if he's like your third receiver, which obviously could happen. I don't know if he'll go as high as in the 4th round in a lot of drafts. But yeah, I love Debo Samuel. Just the safe floor, consistency that he's gonna have. I got a tough spot here, so I went 3 running backs: Christian McCaffrey, Drake, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I want to go receiver here. I mean, Juju's on the board. I do like Juju. I'm kind of torn between him and T.Y. Hilton.
4-5.
Juju does
T.Y.
look big. You got 12 seconds left.
I mean, targets.
We'll just
Juju's
see how
number
many
one.
targets that Keenan Allen will get in that offense, being peppered by Phillip Rivers. I'll just think that T.Y. Hilton will get a good amount of targets, so I'll go T.Y. Hilton right there.
Diggs
Comes back to me, goes Calvin Ridley, Stephon Diggs with the computer auto pick right there. So this kind of happened again where my last pick where I was kind of debating between 2 guys, but it came right back to me, and I have my guy right here. I'll just go Juju right here. I think he's being treated unfairly in my opinion. I mean, yeah, maybe the press coverage, he can't do all that, but I mean, the Big Ben's looking good. You finally being able to throw the ball. I just think, if you get Big Ben out there, you can't really judge Juju with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph out there with how bad they were playing. So I'll take a gamble on Juju right here, especially because he's only going to be my second wide receiver. So that's basically what I think he could be, is a solid second wide receiver.
With the potential of being one. All right, I'm 1 pick away also from getting the person I was about to take and look like a dummy. But Dayton, I think you're gonna. All right, what do you think? He's got 2 and 2. I mean, best available. What do you think? We got DK, DJ Shark, Robert Woods. I mean, you got.
he's pretty
OB.
even. 2 and 2. I mean,
which isn't a bad approach. I'm not opposed to like going balance after 4 picks. I mean, like some people might take T. That's who I was gonna take. Odell Beckham. That was a person. Good fucking call.
damn, that's pretty wild to see Odell Beckham Jr.'s.
So Odell and Juju were like first and second round
That's what I was
turn
gonna
guys
say.
last year. Now they're going in the 5th.
Damn.
Yeah,
round.
that's
That's crazy.
That was the risk. Of course, 6 receivers went after I took Marlon Mack to probably not help me out, but that's why you mock draft so you can see stuff like that.
Yeah.
who's
See that,
going where.
Yeah, see
Yeah.
that just a run of receivers like that. I mean, damn.
And don't like take the same thing every time. Like don't like always just like, because it's not gonna happen like that in real life. It's gonna be completely different.
Yeah.
Like don't be like, oh, I'm gonna get two stud receivers here or 2 stud running backs here, because in real life it might happen, but it might not. You got to be ready to like adapt to your draft in each draft.
Yeah.
And everyone's doing their homework, so.
So you go AJ Green right here. You think he's primed to have a bounce back year? He's on the 1-year franchise tag, so if he wants to get that last contract of his career, he's gonna have to go out and put up some numbers.
Gotta
Yeah.
get that money.
I mean,
Stay
I'm
healthy,
playing-
at least.
Yeah. I'm going off of. I mean, we can't assume he gets hurt. I'm going off that he stays healthy. I think he'll get more targets than DK, DJ Shark, Robert Woods, Jarvis Landry has him and OBJ. Even though Jarvis Landry is like extremely productive, I mean, they're gonna hook up Joe Burrow as much as they can to set him up for success. So I like AJ Green. He's a vet. I mean, when he plays, he balls. So.
We got DK Metcalf comes off the board, and guess what? Your boy needs a running back.
get
I got
it.
David Montgomery there. You know who I'm looking to get?
Yep.
Do you know?
My guy.
I do.
Do you know?
I do. It's gonna be Raheem.
he on the last?
Raheem
Well,
Mostert.
Yeah, maybe.
Was he on the last?
Let's say I'm gonna actually go
Oh, he's already gone.
Raheem Mostert.
You weren't even gonna go. You weren't even gonna go him.
Bro, you're gonna hook
No,
it up.
I was. We were talking about it.
Yeah, he brought him up earlier because
Bullshit.
I brought up Matt
Before we
Breida.
started recording,
I brought up Matt Breida, and he's like, they still have Mostert. But we're like, yeah, Breida's gone. He's like, yeah, Mostert.
Actually, I was eyeing Mostert. That's why I said.
That was Mark
son of a
Andrews
bitch.
and then DJ Chark coming off the board next.
I mean, even DJ Shark for as good as he did last year, I mean, to go in the 5th round is you're getting a wide receiver too. You would think.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, yeah, Minshew
Let's see.
did his thing. So
Let's see if Real Deal picks Cam Akers. He's a big Rams fan, so I wonder if he will do it.
there's a lot of running backs ahead of him right now.
He looks like an AFC North
He
fan
does have
right now.
three running backs already, so and no receivers.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
for wide receivers, you got Jarvis. You still have Tyler Boyd, Cortland Sutton, Gallup. I mean,
Robert Woods, right? Still on the board?
yep, Robert Woods.
Actually,
Jarvis.
I didn't see that when I was making my picks. I would have made it a little more harder for me.
What about
Like a
Devontae
Juju
Parker? He's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take Robert Woods over Juju easily.
Bro, I heard
Yeah, I was
Devontae
seeing
Parker's better than. He ran out of time.
Oh,
he got Robert Woods.
I think he might have. He's
Best
probably
auto,
eyeing
yeah.
Robert Woods too.
Let's get it.
Okay, let's
All right,
see.
a guy named A Macatak.
Well, if Robert Woods was there, that would have been a fun consideration.
Yeah, I
but
would have
like,
taken Robert Woods.
But like I said,
Jarvis?
I don't draft a trade because I know who I am and I don't make many trades, so I'm not doing that strategy at all this year.
Done.
Yeah,
And
smart.
you do have those because I have tried to offer AMAC trades and he just never.
He doesn't listen.
I think it's a part of pride to me where it's like I'm gonna fucking live or die with the team I drafted.
That's actually what he's told me.
That's legit. I'm like I will live and die by this team, unless it's like a trade where it's like okay, if you see that as a fair swap, then cool. But most of the time,
versus Tyler's. He says "fuck me" from last month.
Okay, wait, hold on. I gotta look through these rankings because they're so off.
Mike.
I'm gonna chase a little running back upside since I only have one running back right now, and I'm gonna go with the other Colts running back and Jonathan
I thought he was
Taylor.
gonna get all the way back to me.
Yeah, see, I that's one of the guys I was open to get, but I got a couple in the bag.
I'm gonna
over
probably deploy since I have three of my personal top 12, but I have 3 starters at wide receiver. I could start week in and week out. I'm gonna deploy a little bit of an upside strategy with running backs going up over here.
Waller the baller, my man.
So you got guys.
Laces out goes with Darren Waller, the baller.
Hey Nate,
Actually, it's funny. I was statting. We have the bet for 7 receptions. I was statting Waller right. I think I had him at like 67
Hey, Nate,
receptions.
hey,
and I was
hey.
like, it's pretty close to 70.
dude.
Shout out you guys. So if you guys want to explain that real fast, you
But it
guys
was
have
under.
a bet whether or not Darren Waller is going to get over or under 70 receptions this year.
Yeah, so Nate, if you're watching, I said over 70. What do you think?
Me and Anthony said
throw it in
under
the
70.
comments.
I mean, 67 is under 70.
I think I said under as well. We all said under except for Dre, right?
So I say over. Wait till he gets. I hope the first game of the season he gets like 11 catches for like 150.
And then he gets 2
All I
catches the
need
next
is to-
week,
yeah.
and then 2 the next week, averages 4.
Yeah, just five a game.
He
I
pulls,
mean,
he pulls the Sammy Watkins and just
5 a
does
game
well, though.
gets you what? 80 catches. Yeah, that's. I mean, Derek Carr could definitely check it down 20 times a day.
Yeah, but
Okay.
what about in week 7 when he hurts his? Wait, what?
His ankle
Just
out for the
put
game?
that out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, we'll take that. Oh, Tyler Boyd. Hey, I think he's one of those slept-on guys. So I read he was one of the only receivers. He was in the top 10 in receiving yards and catches last year. Or I think he might have been the only one. He had 90 catches and 1,000 yards. I mean, he's low-key productive, and he's even better when AJ Green is.
Scary Terry goes off the board. Turbo goes Tyler.
Wait, how did it go like that?
Turbo goes
Oh, I'm
Terry.
tripping. I'm tripping.
Yeah, this is a snake. I know you're used to those rookie drafts.
I'm a
Snake,
slither,
the
though.
snake that
I'm
comes
curious to see
back.
where Terry McLaurin goes in like your average home draft because I mean I feel like most people in here are at least somewhat sharp, but
Savvier.
I
I think
just-
he's like gonna get overlooked if you're not playing with people who are like.
I don't know. I just don't like the team he's on. I feel like if
You
he
got to
was-
think the second year in the NFL with Dwayne Haskins, he should get better. I mean, those guys have the rapport from back in Ohio State. I know it didn't hit or connect as you
That's
would
my
expect right
guy.
away, but I mean, you got to think it can only get better.
And
in
he's
year
lightning
2.
fast.
And I mean, who's really gonna challenge him on the team for targets?
Yeah.
He's gonna dominate that target share, and he was number 1 in
Haters, Colby. I see you, Nate. 85. I mean,
Oh shit, I gotta look.
Colby says under. Hey, congrats, Colby. By the way, that's the medicine man. He's been trying to comment on our live streams for the past like month, and it just hasn't been working. And so I see it. So
I think the link you sent us the right one.
Laces says yeah. It should be
85 for
right.
sure.
Yeah, Laces says 85.
Oh yeah.
We're apparently we're hating on Darren Waller. I don't
Y'all
know.
are hating.
We
man.
just think, in my opinion at least, you go get Henry Ruggs, and then you get Brian Edwards, you get Lynn Bowden. I mean, you'd like to think that maybe Josh Jacobs gets a little more incorporated in the passing game because he's a capable pass catcher. I just think that, the offense won't run through Darren Waller as much as they did last year, especially with Tyrell Williams going out for so many games. I feel like their offense kind of ran through Darren Waller, sorry.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah. Tyrell Williams was
So Anthony goes Cam Akers from the Rams. Are you gonna hit the mic?
Anthony just snaked Real Deal Fantasy. He's
There's no such thing as a snake.
Yeah, I mean you're a snake right now.
Yeah.
It's funny because I messaged him before we started this, and I told him, I was like, "Don't worry, dude. I won't steal Cam Akers from you."
But I will.
But I said, there's.
I'm
also,
not sorry.
I said there's also 4 of us though, so one of us might.
Yeah, I mean, I have to chase some upside. Joe Mixon's my stable RB1, but I mean, Jonathan Taylor, Cam Akers. Let's see. I got week 1 to find out what I have in these guys. I'm starting one of them. I'll play the matchup, and see where I'm at from there. Adjust week 2.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got? What do we got?
One.
What was it?
Did he auto pick?
Time's up. Oh, I mean,
Hey, I'm not mad at that.
He's had 2 auto picks already, and it's been Robert Woods and Jarvis Landry.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's not bad.
Not
at
bad.
All.
Not bad.
So
sometimes the computer knows what they're doing.
You know what? Maybe you would have done that good. I don't know you, but maybe you would have done that good.
So I have two running backs right now.
Oh, the light-skinned quarterbacks.
And I run into this issue here where I don't like really anybody in this area for these running backs.
Back to back. Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, I don't really like any of these running backs here. I'm in kind of a pickle, and you gotta. This is what happens, dude. This is what happens in drafts. All right.
You got to mock. I mean, what do you think? I mean, are you going to force it?
That's why I don't want to. So.
But I mean,
But then I'm in a spot over here. What am I doing here, dude? All right. You know what I'm gonna do,
dude? Tell me what you're gonna do.
I'm afraid of Kerryon Johnson's upside.
Show me what you're gonna do, dude.
All right, I'm gonna do.
Wait 1 second.
Kerryon Johnson.
Oh, you got it in? Did the computer do it? Because it said time's up.
No, I mean it was on the top, but I just picked it right.
All right, medicine man.
And that's what you call a panic pick right there, dude.
Zing. Jordan Howard, the ball carrier, I call him.
The first Miami Dolphin.
Man, oh, it's on. Oh, Big Nick Digger, that's on me. All right, so I got 3 and 2. Granted, right, we're doing a super flex, so all these guys are all still playing, right? You're still these guys are all still going to be on the field. So usually, I mean, since it's a mock, I won't do as much, but usually you want to check up on your bye weeks when you're drafting, so you don't completely. Or actually, some people like to do it and just load 1 week and take the L and just get it out the way and pray that maybe you get lucky. Or some people like to spread it out to where, you can kind of be balanced throughout the season. I'm more of the balanced person, unless I accidentally forget to look. I mean, at this point, how many times? What I got? 8 seconds left?
Yep, 5.
All right, in that case, I'm going to go
Breida, back-to-back Dolphins. Come off the board.
Okay, so here's something for you, because you talk about how your team, when you start the same, is not the same. Considering that your team is not going to start the same when you make a lot of trades, I feel like you should go after your higher-rated player on the board when considering bye weeks, because you're probably not going to have the same team anyways.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like that'd be a better strategy. If you're a person who likes to make trades, you're going to move all these pieces. By week 11, you're not going to have the same team. And let's just say you're like, oh, I'm going to take him because he has the same bye week as someone else. I'd rather just draft a higher rated player in my eyes, and then just, if you're going to make trades, trade that guy away, and it won't even be an issue.
Yeah.
I just feel like that might be a more like upside type of strategy, because you're taking a player higher on your board and with more potential than just worrying about a bye week. But like I said, I don't draft a trade, so I wouldn't do that. But you do, so I feel like that might be potentially.
Sometimes I'll try to get guys in earlier bye weeks, so then that way I can use that as like a trade value. Like, hey, look, this guy already had his bye, so you're not, because you know how sometimes you get to the end of the season and guys are like, I have to trade him because this guy's on a bye and I need a body. I'd like to rather have guys, 4, 5, 6 buys, so that when I'm trading 7, 8, I'm like, hey, he's already had a bye week too. Like that's good. That's actually important.
Okay, I see what you're
you know what I mean? For the sake of sakeness of needing bodies and good players, I mean it only helps.
Yeah, bodies is good.
For sure. All right, I'm on the clock right here.
take some
10
bodies.
seconds pretty much. I'm going to go Brandon Cooks right here. I mean, someone's got to kind of take over those yards that DeAndre Hopkins isn't going to get anymore. And, minus last year, he got injured with the Rams, but 4 straight years prior to that, over 1,000 yards in multiple systems, with multiple teams, multiple quarterbacks. So, this guy's a first-round talent. Former Biletnikoff Award winner. I always say that every time I talk about him. So I think, we can see if Will Fuller stays healthy. If not, that just even opens the door more for Brandon Cooks. And in the 6th round right here as my 3rd receiver, I'll take Brandon Cooks. And then I got to do a homer pick right here for my 4th wide receiver. Kind of reminds me of Devontae Parker.
And
I love it.
And it's Devontae Parker. Getting him in the 7th?
We'll see what happens with Devontae Parker. Obviously, when Preston Williams was there, they kind of were like 1A, 1B. Preston Williams, like in week 9 or something like that, tears his ACL, goes out. That's when Devontae Parker really stepped up and shined. He was getting double-digit targets pretty much in every single game ever since that. Ends up leading the AFC in yards and touchdowns. Can he do that again? We'll see. Obviously, the rapport for him and Fitzpatrick's there. Like, Fitzpatrick trusting him to just chuck it up to Devontae Parker and let him do his thing. So, and it's a homer pick.
Dayton, fuck you. That's another pick. I was about to take DeAndre Swift here since I couldn't get Jonathan Taylor. You're snaking me out of picks.
That was like 2 rounds ago.
No, I'm saying since I didn't get him, he just got DeAndre Swift. So since I couldn't get one handcuff, I wanted to get one of the other rookies. That's literally who I had in my queue. So,
is it literally?
That's why you gotta have other people. But yeah, I was gonna lock him in. For like you said, you're not too sure about Kerryon Johnson. I'm gonna take this. This is based on just opportunity. I'm gonna go. He'll probably get it, and I don't even feel that great about it, but I'll take it, just because.
We'll see if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm taking him. At the round that he's at, but I almost wanted to go Phillip Lindsay, to be honest.
Are you worried about maybe Bryce Love kind of coming back, or they draft Antonio Gibson, and AP's not going away either? I think I'm just going to stay away from the Redskins backfield altogether.
Yeah, I just did that. That's one of the gamble. In every draft, there's one of those rounds where you just take either your sleeper pick or your pick or someone you think's gonna hit. This is we're right around where I do that for myself.
If one person's gonna probably take over, it's gonna probably be Geis out of all those guys. So at least you have that upside built in there.
Because they like him, but I've heard it. Rivera said he compared Antonio Gibson. He said he can be like a McCaffrey because he can catch. I'm like, okay, he hasn't even played a game yet.
He reminds me of more like a Percy Harvin kind of guy. Yeah. So we got the medicine man on the clock, 5 seconds. He goes Ronald Jones.
Ronald Jones.
And some of these rookies don't even see much of the field to, factor in. Like we were talking about Geis and AP. It might take some time before he's even a factor in the game plan. So
there's some guys that I just hate picking.
Well, then don't.
Like Sony Michel.
Oh yeah.
But then it's you get into a spot where you're a little bit tempted. But
he's a guy at what point does he just become okay, I have a running back who's going to touch the ball. Fucking, it might not be sexy, but he's going to touch the ball X amount of times.
But then I see, to be honest, I like James White almost over that. But I'm going to go receiver here. I'm going to go my boy, Christian Kirk.
Oh, weird. Oh, Gallup. There he is. He had a good year last year. To get a wide receiver 2 in the 7th, right? We're in the 7th with Dak. That's solid. No, Gallup.
Oh, Gallup. Yeah.
Well, and then Will Fuller. Everybody knows about
whatever happens with CeeDee Lamb, but
everyone knows about Fuller if he can stay healthy.
I think we in those last episode I talked about Christian Kirk. I was pretty excited about it. About him, I think that I've said it over and over again. I think the Cardinals are going to have a really good year this year. Sorry, Real Deal Fantasy. I know you're a Rams fan, but I really think that they could definitely win that division. Their offenses look sick. They did some defensive moves.
Who is this? Whoever this is hasn't been on in
I think
3 rounds.
Yeah.
So whoever you are, bro.
That's Real Deal.
Is he East Coast,
bro?
Yeah, he is East Coast.
Okay, so you're good. He could be Real Deal sleeping.
Maybe he's sleeping.
Real
And
Deal
that's why I asked.
Maybe he's
whoever
taking,
it is.
Maybe taking that.
No, it's a sleep at this point.
Time's up.
10:45. His squad ain't bad.
Goes Dak Prescott.
His team
I
is
kind of was hoping that guy would fall back.
Chubb, Derrick Henry. It's not bad. Jarvis.
Maybe he got mad when. He was
Zach Ertz.
ghosting it a minute ago.
It's not.
Anthony goes Zach Ertz.
Did you that interesting stat did it for you today, right?
No,
that Average Bros posted.
I'll just take a solid tight end in almost the 8th round.
Yeah, he's gonna get you. His floor is good, even with Goddard there, right?
Yeah, I mean, we assume, everyone's going to potentially stay healthy, but do they?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they did add some more weapons, but he's going to have his role in this offense. He has his
100%.
role set in stone.
For sure.
The targets are definitely going to go down in my eyes. That's not a question. But in the 8th round, to have someone I don't really have to worry about too much at tight end, I'm cool taking him there.
100%. And if somebody does get hurt and it's not him and it's Dallas Goedert, then he's only. I mean, the Eagles, it really doesn't matter, like you said. Ertz is going to get his. But if anybody does go down and it's not him, it's only going to help.
I'm not mad at Laces out. He goes in the 6th round, gets Kareem Hunt, and then 7th round, he gets Sony Michel. It's not bad.
No?
Not bad.
Now he's for sure going to go wide receiver, right? He's like me. He's only got 2.
One thing I've noticed just doing this is I feel like once you get kind of like those, I guess you want to say like those 1st or 2nd round running backs, I don't know, some of these other running backs coming off the board compared to the receivers, it's like it makes me think like I might want to just try to stack up on running backs, and then there's just so many.
It does seem like there's the receivers are.
That's why I purposely went at the 10 is because the depth of the receiver and versus running back, I wanted to see how it played out. That's why, like we say before, is like mock and do different positions and see how it plays out. I'm like, I took one running back for a reason because I want to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
I mean, 25 of the first 48 picks were running backs. 25. So your first 25 are already gone after the 4th round. So
That's pretty balanced.
25. Yeah, I mean it's
out of 50.
Well, 25. I mean,
but then there's
you also have tight
all
ends.
those
No, you have tight
quarterbacks.
ends and quarterbacks. Yeah. So I mean, they're more than 50% of your draft for sure. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, there's a good amount. I mean, because I mean, look, DJ Moore is going in the
after
4th, and he's a pretty good running back. But the last running back going in the 4th is like Marlon Mack.
I mean, it's the 8th round right now. Can you see where we're at?
Huh?
on that thing?
Yep.
Oh wait, my queue's gone. I don't know, sleeper. I can't figure
Keshawn
it out.
Vaughn.
Okay. So
Darius Slayton was the first Giants wide receiver off the board, right?
Strange.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if maybe he's thinking that connection with him and Danny Dimes. Both rookies. They obviously when Danny Dimes came in, they had that connection right away. But
He's balling.
there's a lot of mouths to feed in that passing game. You got Evan Ingram, Sterling Shepard, Golden Tate, Darius Slayton, even Saquon out of the backfield. It just makes me like Danny Dimes a lot more as a late round sleeper. Maybe I'll get him in this draft.
I'm gonna go with some upside here.
I mean, I like the Giants. They pass the ball. Their
three.
offense is going to be good. I think the Giants.
Yeah.
And Shepard still, he's been there the longest. So I mean,
McCole Hardman.
Just shooting
from the
some. I
Chiefs.
guess I already have 3 receivers. I can leave him on the bench for a few weeks. But if this dude takes the number 2 wide receiver spot, he's going to be a monster. Where's he's going?
Oh, yeah.
Andre pointed out the stat. It was like 40 something targets, 27 catches for like whatever touchdowns. I mean, Sammy Watkins. He's on another planet. He thinks he's from another planet.
he looks like he's from
Looks
another
like he's from
planet.
another planet. So, I mean, if he could take that wide receiver 2 role in this offense, he could definitely have some big weeks for you.
Yeah. And
If he gets to 100 targets, like I said, he'll be a value in the 8th round.
especially where you're getting him, and especially in the 2 flex.
Yeah, and then my team in particular, like I said, you could sit there because you're not going past Julio Robinson or DJ. I don't need you to for a while anyway. So
For sure. So he's going to get auto picked. Damian Williams. Let's see. Yeah.
or Felipe.
Oh no. Or Julian Edelman. It looks like they might give him. No.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about Julian Edelman too because he's going to see 120, 130 targets in that offense.
For sure.
Is it going to be deep targets? No, but I was like, am I going to play him and what's his upside versus like Hardman has some upside there.
Oh, they gave him
So
Damian, actually.
My guy that I was looking to swing back around and get is there.
Is he?
Yep.
I wouldn't
he
do that
is.
thing.
So I'm going to go James White, a half-point PPR, get some receptions. Not really much going on in that offense still. They do have that rookie from last year, Damian Harris.
Yep.
But it didn't seem like he got too involved last year. Yeah, I mean, James White is basically a receiver.
Yeah,
his
sure.
rushing
for sure.
attempts is way
I don't know
down there.
I don't know if he's ever ran for. I don't know if he has 1,000 career rushing yards. Who knows?
So, there's that.
Oh, we got Tevin.
So Tevin Coleman comes off the board, Tevin Coleman, I think, was going, 4th, 5th round last year?
Yeah.
So we're clear into the 8th round right here, and that's when he comes off the board.
All right. So I'm looking at receiver. I mean, I do like John Brown, but I mean, like Anthony was saying, Edelman's going to get his targets. I'm actually going to go Sterling Shepard.
Two Giants,
Yeah.
one round.
I just feel like Darius Slade will be more of the boomer bust guy to where, excuse me, Shepard can be more of like the consistency. I mean, I'm looking for him to be my flex 3 or 4, so I feel like that's where he fits the mold anyways. Give me like 5-6 catches, 80 yards, if he gets me a touchdown, good. But I mean, I think that whole offense is going to take a step forward with, they got some O-line and another year under the offense with all their guys. So 8th round, I'll take it.
All right. So Sterling Shepard, who's on the clock? We got your boy Dates on there. Yeah, you guys are right though. I doing this live and actually talking is what because I did a couple drafts already previously and a couple today, and just talking about it's making me realize how much more depth there is for receivers, especially in this year.
Yep.
Even some of the rookies I'm not mad at for receivers, but like this year there's probably like 3 rookie running backs, 3 or 4 that also are pretty decent.
Yeah. All right, so I'm on the clock right here. I went 3 running backs and then 4 straight wide receivers. I'm kind of just open to kind of best player available at this point. Kind of surprised to see J.K. Dobbins still on the board, so I'll just snag him right here as my 4th running back.
You. That's all.
I'm actually surprised he fell that far. I don't think he lasts to the back of the 8th round in leagues.
I think it's because he's buried in the sleeper rankings. So it's like you're like you have to scroll down because I was like, oh shit.
Even on the Fantasy Pros ranking, he's still 102 though. So I mean, even then it's kind of deep back there. So I mean, how much work does he get? Who knows? I mean, I don't think Mark Ingram's going away, but he's my 4th running back. So if I got bye weeks, I could throw him in there potentially. Then it goes auto pick, Austin Hooper, Darrell Henderson Jr. So I'm back on the clock again. And now kind of in a pickle here. Got a couple players. Probably just I was looking at quarterbacks, but I think I'll wait on quarterback. Let's see.
Yeah, this is like the kind of the rounds where I don't mind starting to look at quarterbacks.
Got 10 seconds. I think I'm gonna take a shot right here. I'm gonna go Hunter Henry from the Chargers.
Hunter Henry.
A couple tight ends came off the board here. I wanted to try to wait to grab Gesicki, but I already have Devontae Parker, so I don't want to double up on it. I do like Mike Gesicki a lot. I think I like Mike Gesicki a little, maybe even more than Devontae Parker for the value and round you're going to get him in.
Yeah, because I was like, I could get him later. For sure. Yeah. All right, Dane, I hope you don't get who I'm thinking. I'm not even going to think what I think because...
So tell me to think you think.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, between you and Colby right here, fucker.
Josh Allen.
God damn it.
He's a snake. He's a snake in the grass.
Damn it.
All right, now, like Amek was saying, I mean, Edelman's still there. I'm looking still. I mean, you still have Emmanuel Sanders. There's like I said, the running backs, though, it's almost like handcuff city now. You got Madison, Murray, Pollard. I mean, it's a... Oh man, it's getting rough in these streets by the 10th round for running backs at least. For wide receivers, you still have a good amount. I'm gonna go ahead and
do it.
Emmanuel
Sanders.
I mean, 9th round. They're dying for a number 2. Like I said, at this point, I'm looking for him to be like a flex 3 or 4. He should get a decent amount of targets. He chose to go there. He could have gone elsewhere and gotten more money. So, I mean, he wants to probably play with Breeze. I think Breeze is getting to the latter end of his career, too. So his route tree is more, fitted for Breeze, I feel like.
So, this guy's ADP is pretty high up there, at least on Sleeper. But, I mean, I do like another receiver on this team, but I can't pass this up, I don't think, right here.
Do it.
Just for the sheer number of dink and dunks, I think.
Yeah, Edelman. No,
I think that the Patriots they have Jeff Stidham as their quarterback right now. They're pretty confident with him, apparently.
Like how the computer, I might cut you off, Mike, but I like how the computer simulator, they took Russell Wilson and Murray back to back, and then 2 rounds or 3 rounds later, they take Aaron Rodgers and Matt Ryan.
Damn computers.
Dude, they got trade equity.
He's in the computer.
Maybe. Yeah, that's... It's like, what? Ain't nobody going to run Kyler and Matt Ryan and Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Hey, that happens in your draft. We see it.
You do see people do.
I've seen people take 3 quarterbacks in your draft.
Fuck, I hope no one in our league's that goddamn stupid.
Yeah. Sometimes
I do like going the double quarterback strategy, but I mean, if you're drafting a guy like Russell and Kyler, I mean, obviously this is a computer. Maybe they're just going best player available on the board. I don't know how that was picked. I mean, if you draft in Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray, you're most likely setting and forgetting it each and every week. You're not really trying to match up base those guys. I like match up basing my quarterbacks like in the later rounds. 10th round pass. Trying to get like a Stafford and a Winston or something like that.
I'm not about giving up 15% of my draft, the first 9 picks on quarterbacks. Like 15% of his draft is on one of the players he's never going to use every week. So that's just my thing. I like to pick players that I'm going to take.
Just shows that we're smarter than computers.
Seriously, why pay us what you give to them? I don't know. It's bullshit. But a lot of quarterbacks
I don't think
are
the
gone.
computers have like a checking account.
I'm sure some do.
All right, so Real Deal. I don't know if he's still here with us.
I messaged him, but
Mickey auto picked. He went no fan. He must not be here because he went double tight.
Deal?
What's the deal?
What's the real deal?
All right, so now we've got how many tight ends are gone? 3, 6, 9, 10. So we're almost out of the tight end 1 range.
Anthony's up.
Okay. Let's see where am I at.
Did you pick it?
Yeah, I'm gonna take my fifth quarterback, 6th. I gotta look at my rankings.
I thought you were saying you picked 5 quarterbacks.
No,
Drew Brees.
I think he's my 5th or 6th. So I'm gonna take him there.
Yeah, I mean,
you got your 5th quarterback in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's like 10th overall on the board, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good. So
that's not a deal. That's a steal.
Yeah, so Drew Brees is now the 10th quarterback off. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Got Judy.
I mean, that's kind of. I feel like that's almost. You look at these guys. I could see a lot of real drafts where all these guys go ahead of him. Maybe not Matt Ryan potentially, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Josh Allen, even Aaron Rodgers go ahead of him,
for sure.
just off name value. You got the Deshaun, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray. None of those would surprise me at all.
Yeah, no, you're right. Especially
even Tom Brady going ahead of him wouldn't surprise me based off of just name. I mean, so you could even potentially realistically get him 11 in possibly some drafts.
Yeah,
that's where it's like you gotta know. One thing I've been thinking about a lot of offseason is know your board and then know where these players are actually gonna go.
Yeah, that comes with mock exactly. So you know
like
what area.
Yeah, I have Dak at 2. I don't need to take him at 2 because I might be one of maybe a handful of people who's going to take him that high. But I don't need. I'm going to rank him that high, but I don't need to take him that high.
So I just want to say, like we after 2 rookie receivers just went off the board, I do want to say is that I feel like a lot of times these, especially receivers, because they don't just show up and start putting up crazy numbers right away, is you'll see these guys will get drafted. Look, we're only in the 9th round, and CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy are getting drafted. And I can guarantee you one of those guys, well, probably Jerry Jeudy, but will get dropped after not performing maybe the first 2 weeks. And you can pick up a lot of these rookies on there. So for receivers, I don't like to really draft them too much because you get kind of put in this situation where you're holding on to them big time. Now, that's a rookie running back just came off the board. Anthony McFarland Jr. playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Does he have James Conner? No. But hey, I mean, at this point, it's getting to that for running backs. You're getting to that handcuff. To that handcuff or, range where you think someone can overtake a job. So. Yeah,
I mean, it's after James Conner's had injury. I'm not mad at Anthony McFarland. I think he's a little sneaky, to be honest.
I say Jamal Charles. That's what I compare him to, but that's probably
okay. So Lace is out on the clock. I just want to say he was when we were talking about Darren Waller. He said my thinking is they went out and drafted 2 receivers and a pass catching back because they don't like their current receivers and Terrell and Renfro. That's why he thinks Darren Waller.
I mean,
is going to do better.
I mean, Renfro was pretty solid as a rookie last year. Terrell, I don't know
his contract's
out. Takes Mike Williams.
His contract's up after this year, so they're not going to re-sign him. It was more of they needed depth at the position.
Listen, if Mike Williams walked into this room right now, what would you do, Tyler?
Throw him a touchdown pass.
He would do a mic joke. He would do a mic joke.
I just think the guy's super talented.
That's a good call.
I mean, if like I said, if Keenan Allen doesn't get peppered with 130 plus targets and those come down, I mean, and Mike Williams can see 100, 110 targets. I mean, we've seen the touchdown upside of what he can do. He's a big body guy, 10 touchdowns 1 year. I know he only 2 last year. Don't let that shy you away because if you look at Mike Evans when he first came in the league, it was like 12 touchdowns 1 year, 2 the next year, Then he had 12 his third year, and then his fourth year he had like 2, and then his fifth year he had like 10 or 12 again. So sometimes you just can't really predict these touchdown things. Mike Williams was still heavily utilized in the red zone and a ton of end zone targets. Hopefully maybe the luck just kind of swings his way this year, and he gets more of those touchdowns.
Okay,
So I think
won't talk about him.
1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. I like it.
Wait, because he wants to talk about Deontay Johnson.
No.
I took Pittsburgh 1B wide receiver.
I don't know. Chase Claypool's in the mix
Oh,
nowadays.
stop it.
I don't know. Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, no, I like that. Deontay
I
Johnson
actually
looks good.
I know I do knock on Juju because the 3 years running now he's struggled against man and press, but I still think Juju has a lot of upside. We've seen you don't just walk into 1,400 yards and X amount of yards, but I do think that this is going to be a lot closer in targets than some people think.
Yeah.
With Deontay Johnson, I mean, whether you want to whether you take away the quarterback last year, straight up Deontay Johnson was the best wide receiver on the field. I'm not talking about who was throwing the ball as far as wide receiver goes. He was, and he's kind of a different receiver than Juju was. Juju could have 130, 140, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Deontay get 100, 110 potentially, because we've seen Big Ben gear towards 2 wide receivers in the past.
So
For sure,
real deal.
yeah. So
Auto
just
picks again.
Some stats on Deontay Johnson. #. Interesting stat.
#.
Led all rookies in receptions with 59. Also was tied with Deebo Samuel for all receivers for most forced missed tackles at 18. So, guy when he gets the ball, he's a ability to make some people miss and make plays. So yeah, one of our favorite late round wide receivers. I think he's going to be one of those guys where you drafted him in the 10th round later, and he's going to be one of those guys where he's probably like a consistent wide receiver 2 for you each and every single week. He might even go undrafted in some leagues, or like he's that guy where he gets dropped after week 1 or week 2, and you can go snag him off the waiver wire, and he's going to be a gem for you.
He's probably going to go later in real drafts unless we raise his value single handedly.
Yeah.
We might do it. 'Cause I know we like him over here.
And speaking of trades, he's a player I like to throw 2-for-1s in to get someone good. If someone balls, he's one of those guys.
I just lost who I was just looking at. Damn it.
So after that, it goes Carson Wentz, John Brown,
Yeah, it's going to auto
Jared
pick for me.
Cook.
God damn it.
Eric Ebron, homer pick from Mike right there.
I see Nathan said.
That's fine with me, actually. I'm not mad at that. It auto picked it.
I was like, wait,
it's
did
because I
you-
threw it in my queue. That's it. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to talk, but
This is why we mock.
Chase Claypool, dude. Chase Claypool. Watch out.
I do like Eric Ebron though, Mike. I know you got auto pick
No,
right
I
there,
know,
but
yeah.
I mean, what is it?
I mean,
1, 2,
it's not
3,
really
4,
auto
5,
pick because I
6.
threw him on my queue because.
So he was the 11th tight end off the board. I think
Eric
he'll be a top 10 tight end in my opinion. I think that we saw his touchdown upside of being 14, 15 that year with the Colts. So I mean, he's a red zone weapon, a big body guy. He's basically just an oversized wide receiver.
I think that Pittsburgh's offense is going to be pretty nasty this year. You got Eric Ebron, McDonald, you got Chase Claypool that's coming in. He's a big body guy. He can block for these other guys. Deontay Johnson, James Washington, and Juju. And then you got this back, Anthony McFarland. I don't know. I think people aren't – just because the offense was pretty terrible last year. But I would say that's mostly because of the backup quarterbacks. But we really made some offensive moves this year. After getting that Minka Fitzpatrick in the defense, it really seems like Pittsburgh just is like, okay, defense is covered. We got it, So –
all right, the Messiah's on the clock. 15 seconds. Panic pick.
No, not even. I'm gonna take him because I'm iffy on it, but I like that he went to Carolina. I'm gonna go with Robbie Anderson. Late round pick. I mean, I feel like it was more of a Curtis Samuel thing where they're like, hey, we gave him a shot. Now he didn't really do his thing. And Robbie Anderson with DJ Moore on the other side. Him and Teddy. I don't know. We're speaking obviously in the round that I'm getting him at. 10th round, I just like he's going to be a wide receiver too. He'll get himself a good amount of targets. He showed flashes with the Jets. I mean,
And a team that I see chasing a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think Carolina's going to be very good this year. So that's where, we talk about, do you think Bridgewater's, for DJ Moore, you look at his numbers in New Orleans. New Orleans was a defensive,
Curtis
they
Samuel.
barely even needed to throw to win the ball. And now he's going to need to throw the ball in a lot. In Carolina, a lot more than he was in New Orleans. And I think Robbie Anderson could take the 2 to, like you said, Curtis Samuel just didn't get it done.
Yeah,
He just
that's
wasn't.
funny.
Yeah, and they gave him the chance to, but yeah, just
Laces said, note to self, fellas, take a running back in the first 3 rounds. This is why we mock. You know what, though? He did end up with Kareem Hunt, Mark Ingram, and Sony Michel, and then that rookie with the possible upside. He could take the Bucs backfield in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, 100%.
I
I mean,
can't see the top
so
of this
you're
draft.
what?
I can't see the top half of this
Oh
draft.
yeah, I know because I can only fit so much in the thing.
good.
So
Hey,
if you look on your phone, you can look at it.
We're an hour in, and we're almost done, dude. I mean,
For sure. All right, well, I'm on the clock right now after I went Robbie Anderson and Curtis Samuel. I'm going to go Stafford right here. He's one of my favorite late-round quarterbacks. I think people are going to be sleeping on him. I mean, through the first 8 weeks, Stafford was QB 6. I mean, he's just balling. He was on pace to throw for 5,000 yards, 38 touchdowns. Would have had like 10 interceptions, but I mean, a 3.8 to 1 touchdown interception ratio is money right there. Sure. So we'll see. I mean, he's got guys like Galladay. Maybe Hawkinson makes that step in his second year. Marvin Jones. You get DeAndre Swift out of the backfield too. I mean, you can throw that guy a dump pass and he could take it to the house. So
for sure.
I was kind of hoping like Wentz would fall, and I would love to pair up Wentz and Stafford if I could. These back-to-back quarterbacks. So that didn't happen. I'm on the clock again. I'm kind of just looking right now. I might actually get auto-picked on accident. This is tough. Yeah, I might end up get. What did I got? 10 seconds? 12 seconds? All right, I'm going to panic pick right here. I'm going to go Jared Goff.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Jared Goff.
Back-to-back years with 4,600-plus passing yards. That Rams defense, we'll see if it still lights out like it was in the past. But now I can maybe just match up based these guys, Stafford and Goff. That was actually a panic pick. I don't know if I would have went Goff right there.
Not a bad pick, though. I mean, now, yeah, at this point, I'm looking at quarterback. I mean, yeah, since I have all these receivers, I'm just deciding if I want to go double points with Daniel Jones. Do I go Big Ben? I mean, what are we in the 11th round? You know what? I'll take Big Ben. We'll ride with Big Ben. Give him a shot. Give this Big Ben thing another shot.
You fucking serious, dude.
Give it a shot.
Give it a shot. Give this whole home ec thing another shot. Since we've just been talking about super bad. So, yeah, I mean, comeback season, beard season, skinny boy season. I'll take him.
Yeah, that's really fucked up because you talked all this crap about Ben Roethlisberger.
Until I got here and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm liking him a little more. And then I took him.
It's disrespectful.
I was actually setting you up this whole time. I was going to take him.
Okay.
Jamison Crowder comes off the board. Actually, good pick, Medicine Man. Yeah, I was just thinking if I didn't panic pick, and I was kind of busy talking about Stafford, I wasn't really paying attention to the clock. But if I probably would have taken Crowder over Jared Goff right there, just because there are several other quarterbacks that are still on the board right there.
And he was in my queue. You're getting the wide receiver one on the team in
a sense. And PPR too. I mean, we kind of saw
11,
Darnold
and almost 12th round. Yeah,
lean on him. Yeah, so good pick right there.
He'll get you
So the
80
medicine
catches,
man.
70, 80 catches. I mean, for the 11th round, that's solid. Production based on where you're getting somebody.
Yeah,
is
I mean,
time.
there's probably a more than likely chance he's going to out target Denzel Mims, even though you figure Mims at the outside. If you got to say who we're going to pick for targets, I'd say Crowder.
For sure.
Who has more upside? Mims, but who's going to lead the team in targets? I'd bet Crowder.
Yeah, for sure.
Mike.
And Darnold's a beast. So, Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Dude, Eddie doesn't even have mono.
Yeah, seriously. I liked
Tony Pollard and then Alshon Jeffrey come off the board next.
Alshon. I've never owned him until this past year.
You were talking about how they might utilize Tony Pollard more in double
2 running back
sets, right?
Yeah, that's McCarthy likes to do that. He likes to utilize 2 running backs. I mean, obviously he's going to use Zeke more, but I mean, we don't know. Everyone's in different leagues, so if you're in like 3 or 4 flex, maybe he's worth it. That's one of the things you have to wait for the season to play out. See how their offense looks. But I mean, if the Packers can sustain 2. And Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones, I mean, I don't see why not, but that's something that you just kind of have to stick around and wait for. But Pollard showed flashes in the preseason, if you remember, though. He was doing his thing. So,
Oh, I just had a headache.
all right, let's see. He's going to get auto picked.
What is he
Sammy
gonna get?
Watkins. Sammy Watkins.
Real deal fantasy goes. What do we got?
Zing.
Sammy Watkins. Very good.
Sammy Watkins.
All right. Yeah, I really went wide
irks
receiver
me so.
heavy.
All right, AMAC, what are you thinking here? I mean, like I said, at this point, it's one of those
Well, I'm gonna go
either best available or unless your
with-
dude is like still there that you like.
Possible upside guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, this is kind of an early. Like there's news. I'll explain it once I take it. So I'm
Dallas.
just-
DJ Dallas.
So I mean, Rashad Penny is probably Pete Carroll is like the guy who's always like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be healthy. They're always healthy. He's not optimistic about Rashad Penny at all.
Anyway.
I'm kind of assuming he's not going to start the season at all. Chris Carson isn't even on schedule. Like he's not like they're saying he's going to be ready, but he's not even confirmed to be ready to be a starter week 1. So there's potential that if I'm drafting really early, DJ Dallas might be the starter by default in week 1. In a team that is not afraid to use a workhorse. So, even if Rashad Penny is on the pup, I'm kind of getting the 2 right here with Chris Carson, who's not 100% right now. So who knows if he's going to be 100% week 1 and if an injury flares up. So, yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of taking an early kind of what knowledge we have at this point kind of flyer on him.
Yeah, it's a good flyer from today. Obviously, if they sign somebody in 2 weeks.
Yeah, stuff could change.
Yeah, of course.
And then, Devontae Freeman's been rumored to I know you're kind of picking him there potentially, but yeah, kind of going off what knowledge we have today. And if that knowledge is the same in a month and a half, I'll probably take some flyers on him there.
Yeah, for sure. It's worth it at this point. It could pay off. What we got?
We got what? We got
Laces
2 more
out
rounds.
goes Tyler Higbee.
Laces out goes Tyler Higbee.
I mean, he finished strong. So I mean, so he's
a
got
couple
2 good
100-yard
tight ends.
games, like 10 down the stretch, right?
Which is we were talking about last year's. We used to joke about Rams tight ends, but
Well, I mean, Gerald Everett started the season as like the.
well, it was
guy.
like week 2 or 3 that he was
started taking
started taking off. Yeah.
Oh,
So Henry Ruggs goes off the board, playing for the Raiders, fastest guy alive.
I mean,
How do you guys feel in these last couple rounds? How do you feel? You roster baiting, or how do you feel right now?
I mean, there's a good amount of talent still. I mean, you still have Golden
Yeah.
Tate, Tyrell Williams. You have Preston Williams, Justin Jefferson. I mean, there's.
Got Gesicki still up there, right?
Yeah, I can stack him up if he gets to me in an hour. Oh, what's up, Pop? I mean,
yeah, 13 tight ends go before Gesicki. I know this is a mock draft, and obviously the rankings in the SleeperBot app are kind of all over the place. I mean, there's no way. I think Gesicki doesn't finish in the top 12, right?
Tariq Cohen.
I'm gonna.
There's a
Yeah,
way.
obviously, I don't think so.
But bearing he's healthy, I mean,
Just the way he
for a
ended
full
last
16.
year.
I'm not mad in the 12th round for you to get Tariq Cohen.
No, I mean handcuffed. Yeah,
Well, it's not even a hand.
They
I
need
think
to
he's
actually-
still
yeah, they
somewhat
actually need-
fantasy relevant.
Yeah,
with
that's true.
With
yeah, you're right.
like, I mean, especially if you're in full point PPR leagues, that's I don't know.
I mean, yeah, Tariq Cohen had 100. Only 1 of 4 running backs to have 100 or more targets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was looking at him or Dallas, but I was like, let me just bring up DJ Dallas for the sake of conversation right here,
Yeah.
just to bring
And Chris
it up.
Carson, those fumbles. So if Rashad Penny's not going to be healthy and Chris Carson fumbles a couple times early, I mean, maybe they give the rookie a shot.
This could
and
be
I
your
should
Alvin Kamara.
I guess I shouldn't say this, but whatever, fuck it. He's a player where like we're in a keeper league where I like taking these types of running backs where it's like he could play out and have a little bit of a role, and knowing next year potentially he might be the starter, and I'm getting someone like him in the 11th round who's potentially the Seattle Seahawks running back
Oh, shit,
next
it's on
year.
you. Fuck.
Oh shit.
You got. Fuck. I didn't see it either.
Tyler Williams.
Okay,
Tyrell
whatever,
Williams. Not get mad at that 12th round.
I mean, he was he was a wide receiver 1. Would he have a touch on the first 5 games?
Yeah.
And then he got hurt. So
Who would you have went realistically right there?
Let me go back and look. I don't know.
You got a while.
I wasn't even looking.
yeah, because this is gonna be auto pick.
Potentially Zach Moss.
Yeah.
I'm still getting. They've already said it's going to be a 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Is he going to be the goal line back? That's kind of where I'm like, okay, at least I might have a running back who's going to get me. I think the Bills are going to play good defense. They're going to rush the ball. He's supposed to take somewhat of a Frank Gore's role. I hate saying that, but he's going to at least be in a timeshare because they're not the same player. I can't stand when people say like always be his role. They're not the same player at all.
Yeah.
But anyways, so at least in a timeshare right here, and he has the goal line upside right there because maybe he is the goal line back. I liked Singletary until they drafted him. So, and if anything happened to Singletary, it'd be you know.
I love Zach Moss, and you're kind of like waiting on some of these late round running backs to take flyers on, or with a lot of upside. Yeah, Zach
There goes
Moss.
Rashad Penny.
No, I was about to get Jaceki. No.
No, but were you though?
I mean, you're not gonna get him.
Well, yeah.
Who took Gesicki? Was it the computer?
Yeah, the damn
Yeah.
computer.
The computer.
Computer's just
No.
doubling
Oh,
up
yeah.
on tight ends and
And
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks and fucking
He's got
dumb
Travis
shit.
Kelce.
I think we don't have defenses. They would have taken 3 defenses.
All right, I'm gonna do the kind of similar to Anthony's theory with DJ Dallas. I'm gonna go AJ Dillon right here. I know you guys don't really like him on the film, but they kind of doubled down on screwing over Aaron Rodgers. So maybe I'll double down with Matt LaFleur. go and grab AJ Dillon. He could take the role from Aaron Jones. You never know.
Did someone
He's a
just
big
take
guy.
I highly doubt that. But speaking to him, like we said, the keeper, he's on next year. He's the only running back on the team as far as right now goes. So like if you're in that keeper league, like Aaron Jones is in a contract year, and so is Jamal Williams. So like I said, sometimes if you're playing in those keeper leagues, he might be the only back in town next year.
For sure.
The only back in town.
Deshaun, it goes Justin Jefferson, who I didn't even see he was still
I saw
on
him
the board.
earlier.
I
forgot to put him in my queue.
Rankings right now are kind of all over the place. That's why sometimes it's good to just get your own rankings.
Yeah. If I wasn't doing all the boards and shit right now, I would be.
I saw him in like the 7th, and I'm like, I don't think anyone sees him. I can probably get him in the 9th, and then I forgot about him.
Yeah, I saw him a little while ago, but I saw Deshaun Jackson, and the one game he played last year, he got me 150 and 2 touchdowns. So they need somebody there. The fact that Alshon went before Deshaun Jackson, I don't know. If the dude just stays healthy, I think he's going to outplay his ADP of 12.
Yeah. If you get a shot in the 12th round, and when he goes for 152 touchdowns, trade him after week 1.
Yeah.
Do what Andre does. Take advantage of that shit.
All right, well,
Hey, don't let him get 2 weeks in a row.
I know Anthony would have taken Zach Moss if you said it with their pick. He's still there, so just since he's there,
I was like,
I'll end up just taking him right here. I might as well get him. 'Cause someone else will just get him if I don't.
all right,
so.
keep it in the family.
Yeah, keep it family. So I like Zach Moss, like you said. I feel like I'm maybe not taking over that Frank Gore. Like he's not Frank Gore because I think he can catch the ball, a lot too out of the backfield. But like I said, I think it'll be like a 1A 1B situation there. So and then maybe he's a bigger back than Singletary, so maybe he gets like those goal line carries. Goes OJ Howard, then Preston Williams off the board after that. All right, let's see who else do I got here. I think I'm gonna dial it up another rookie. One of my favorite rookies.
No.
I'm going to go Denzel Mims. Kind of reminds me of Devontae Parker.
I'm out of that.
So you got two Devontae Parkers.
So your team name is going to be Parker and Parker?
Yeah, the firm.
Sounds like a firm.
Parker.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like Denzel Mims. I mean, I do think Jameson Crowder's kind of the one right now. But do I think, halfway through the year, maybe Mims kind of emerges or, maybe they start to lean on him a little bit more. I mean, like I know I joke around. I say he reminds me of Devontae Parker, but he really does. Just a guy, I feel like even when he's not open, he's open. You just throw it up to him, and he goes up and gets it. So we'll see how they utilize him and how many targets he can get that offense. But the kid's super talented.
Dayton goes with Joe Donkey from Cincinnati. And then I took Hayden Hurst. I mean, for the 13th round, fuck it. He's going to be the number one guy.
I like Hayden Hurst a lot.
So
one of my favorite sleepers.
I realized I didn't take a tight end yet. So, I mean, for the 13th round, why not?
I can't believe you guys missed on this guy right here.
Oh, did we miss? Let's see.
I mean, you think with Hayden Hurst, if he kind of just takes over that Austin Hooper role. I'm not saying he is Austin Hooper, but I mean, Austin Hooper was the tight end in one until he got hurt. So, I mean, if Hayden Hurst can just kind of be half of what that is, I mean, he'll be a serviceable tight end for you each and every week.
Yeah.
So your boy, I just went Greg Olsen for the Seahawks.
Nice, I like that.
The Seattle Seahawks kind of were big with their tight end last year, even though they kept getting injured. So, I mean, if they have anywhere close to that role that they had last year, I'm not mad at it. Greg Olsen coming in there, new team.
I know, yeah. So this is the last round. We've made our last picks.
So big, dude.
Fucking
doing 13 rounds. That's what you timed it for?
Yeah, I timed 13 rounds. I mean, because at this point now it'll be your super duper bench.
Right.
Still a couple good players on the board.
Yeah, for sure.
I think if I didn't have T.Y. Hilton, I would have went Michael Pittman Jr. instead of Denzel Mims. But since I have T.Y. Hilton, obviously I don't want to have two Colts wide receivers.
Right.
I do like Michael Pittman Jr. a lot. I think he's going to be one of these late round steals. One of my favorite rookies coming out.
Yeah, and if you're watching, if you want to just comment what your next pick would have been, I mean, I probably would have gone Antonio Gibson just to lock up my Darius Geis investment is where I probably would have gone to see if he would have made it that far. Who knows?
Not that, no.
But that's where my head was at. I do like Paris Campbell though also, but yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Second year they loved him last year. He's a slot guy. He's like a straight slot guy.
Yeah, he's the slot yak type of guy.
4.3, 40
You got
speed.
T.Y. Hilton who can play both outside and slot. Then you got Pittman on the outside. So, I mean, it's going to kind of come up to what Phillip Rivers can do. And if they want to be more just defense and ground and pound, which I'm kind of leaning more towards their defense and ground and pound. So, I'd take an upside guy, maybe late in the draft, realistically speaking. But I think their defense and ground and pound first. For sure. I guess I got to say, since it's only 13 rounds, I got to stay true to what I said a few episodes ago. So, After taking
Minshew.
After taking
God,
Gardner. Oh, I see you, Antonio Gibson. So it looks like he wouldn't have made it to me, but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so just another interesting stat for Gardner Minshew, one of these late round quarterbacks that I think we all love over here. In terms of most scramble yards from a quarterback, obviously Lamar Jackson was number one for most scramble yards, but second behind Lamar Jackson, Gardner Minshew, and he didn't even play a full 16 game season.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to think, like I said, you incorporate that rushing upside that he can get. You get him another weapon in Laviska Shenault. I think this Jaguars defense is going to be pretty bad. So they're probably going to have to be passing a lot to kind of keep up in these games. So yeah, I love Gardner Minshew.
There your boy went Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah, Michael
in the
Pittman
last
Jr. Love that pick. I think he's going to be.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it either.
And this goes to show you just the strength of this past rookie draft. Just on the right-hand side alone, you got Pittman, Gibson, Ruggs, Judy, Lamb. I mean, Keyshawn Vaughn. Like, usually there's not these many rookies in the first 12 rounds.
That's your dynasty homie, isn't it?
I probably would have taken a shot on Rager right there if it was a bigger draft. Like,
Yeah.
I just took Minshew because I said, hey, I'll take him in every draft. So
Yeah, no.
for sure.
I mean, you want to mention these late round guys that you like. I was going to shout out to N'Keal Harry, who got auto-picked by Real Deal Fantasy. I like N'Keal Harry. They drafted the Patriots. The Patriots drafted him last year in the first round. If the Patriots like him, and if they try and do anything with him, I think he'll be decent. They have what's his name? What starts with a P? And the Patriots.
The
Patriots,
Philip.
Philip Dorsett. But he's gone. Well, yeah, right. But it's like you saw last.
Dorsett, his brother.
It's like they really didn't have anything last year.
They got Jacoby Myers was like the only other guy.
Yeah.
But that's it.
And then like Julian Edelman. So I don't know. I could see N'Keal Harry coming out after this year, coming back from injury and actually showing up and doing pretty well. This year.
The Patriots are gonna have an offense. It's not like there are no players out there.
They're not gonna be anemic. Like,
Yeah, no.
So they're still gonna have an offense. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So breaking news: I just made a trade already.
He traded it to me.
So how do you guys feel about the mock draft that we just went through? Do you guys feel confident? Good? What?
I was playing out a strategy of going the three receivers. I guess since I just started talking, I'll just talk about how I did it. Went three receivers, one running back, and then I just kind of went two rookies with some upside right there. I kind of just started shooting some upside with Mecole Hardman. I took my quarterback later. I don't know where I'm losing me. Some early upside and potentially DJ Dallas, but yeah, I said I wanted to see how it played out. You got to try these things out early so you know how they're going to play out.
Yeah, for sure.
I got two quarterbacks.
I think we learned that at first we were only going to run this with 8 people because we were kind of thinking it was going to take too long. But I think we learned that we could probably do it with 12 people.
Well,
and even having the
we did
computer guys kind of actually fucked it. I feel like because they were taking random players.
Yeah, that's the
that
only
they
thing.
probably a real person like double quarterback, double tight end.
Hour 18 minutes.
So yeah, I think when we do the mock draft 2.0, we'll have a full 12-man actual slate.
Yeah.
Just shout out to Laces Out. Appreciate you, Nathan, for joining us. Real Deal Fantasy. I think he got cut off.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly
Still
what
shout
happened.
out though.
Shout out.
He came
It's
out
real late over there in the East Coast, but just appreciate you, brother, coming on for the second 2.0 mock draft. Hopefully you can be here for the whole thing.
Yeah. And no one's allowed to pick the same spot in the next mock draft.
Yep.
That's the rule.
Shout out, everyone. I mean, Turbo, Dayton, good looks. The fucking robots that took all these quarterbacks, good look.
Our medical correspondent wants to make a trade with you, Dre.
Done. I'll give you.
He's trying to trade Alexander. He wants Alexander Madison.
No, he wants to know if I want him. Yeah, I'll give you. I'll give you Big Ben because he's a bum.
2 rounds later.
The quarterback he just drafted.
But then you could
I'll run the
trade
Wildcat.
Mike for him because Mike loves Big Ben, so you could use that as leverage right there.
I usually get Big Ben in like the last round. I need to stop talking about him. I'm upping this stock right now.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna just run Wildcat with Madison and Cook, and it's just 2 running backs.
Bro, but sometimes you got to do that, bro. It's like, all right, for instance, I know this is kind of sidetracking, but it's like if you don't have a quarterback, Mike, but I know you love Big Ben, even if I have a quarterback, it's like, okay, maybe I could just take Big Ben now.
I'm not going to trade you for a
move Big Ben and like another player for another player.
I'm not
Devontae
gonna do
Parker
that.
for T-Rev.
I get what you're saying, Tyler,
Mike Gesicki.
but for a quarterback, I wouldn't do it.
Nah.
You can have Big Ben because this is what's going to happen is Big Ben's going to screw up on something and you're going to drop him, and then I'll pick him up.
I see you. Turbo hit me on this. I guess he couldn't watch it, but he said, "Shout out from Big Bear." Must be nice up there.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shit.
I got a bear on my team. The third bear.
Actually, I don't think I did. Perfect.
Well, listen, it's been fun. It's been real fun.
Good
How's
shit.
that saying work?
It's been real. It's been fun.
I think another thing I realized is I don't think I'm
fun.
gonna get many Dolphins on my team, if any.
I mean, there's not many to pick from.
Whoa.
Whoa. What are you,
Fair
Preston
dude.
Williams, Parker, and Gesicki?
I don't know. Breida. What did
Breida?
Breida go in the 6th round?
Like that's
took
the
him
one
the
guy I
sixth.
might get.
I think Breida will fall into these later rounds in a lot of these home drafts.
Okay,
Yeah,
here's
home drafts, yeah, but here, I mean, just looking at the draft board, if there's no way he would have gotten back to me even with Darius guys. He probably would like. So I feel like somebody would have taken him.
So wait, so let's just really fast. What are like parts of this draft that kind of surprised you? And I pulled the draft off there because it's hard to see the whole thing. So if you want to like say what round it is in the player, I think like some of these rookies like Denzel Mims and whatnot going late. I don't know that. I mean, those CeeDee Lamb kind of went a little bit early.
Taylor
I
in the
guess.
5th is. I feel like he's going to be this year's like Miles Sanders. Like he'll take over by like week 6, and I have Marlon Mack, which is still fine. So I'm just speaking in general, like football, like. He can because that's where I got Miles Sanders last year. and
He's a guy I've seen in mocks going like the early 4th.
Yeah, people.
I mean,
people
you guys.
love him.
Yeah, I mean,
I
is
mean-
that a price tag where it's like, are you guys okay with that price tag, or you think it's a little too high
Yeah, and I think it's the
For
whole
what,
line.
John?
for Jonathan Taylor
In the
a little-
4th round?
Yeah,
It's a
early
little too
4th.
high.
I've seen some mocks where it's like, I mean, you're still. Let's look at this mock draft. Who was there in the early 4th? 1, 2, 3. Your David Johnson, Mark Ingram,
AJ
James
Brown.
Conner, Montgomery,
It's tough.
Gurley. So
It depends on what I already have, I guess, for my first 3 picks.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I went running back heavy in those first 3 picks, or even 2 out of 3, probably not. If I go like receiver heavy, then maybe I take a shot on him right there. I do like Jonathan Taylor, and I think obviously for them to go get him, they don't trust Marlon Mack. It's Marlon Mack's last year in his contract either too, so the guy can't stay healthy for the most part. So. I like Jonathan Taylor. If I was going to draft one ahead of the other, I'm taking Jonathan Taylor ahead of Marlon Mack.
yeah, me too. Probably. I just think 4's a little bit too high for. There's some early season risk.
Yeah, I'm
and
not-
even mid season risk. Marlon Mack might not go away.
That was my.
And Naheem Hines
that was my
might
thing.
not come off the field and pass down some work.
Yeah, that was. I just
I mean,
like
so we
more
have
of
to
a
consider that.
more immediate impact for my 4th round pick is all. Like, not that he wouldn't pop. I like what you're saying. I like using it like 6th round, 7th round, maybe even the 5th. Just the 4th is just too early. I'd rather have someone that I can use like week 1 and know I can start him and at least feel confident he's going to be on the field.
So
But like in a round keeper league like ours, that's where I might try to take a shot in the 4th.
Yeah,
Because it's like I don't know if I'll be able to get him back in the 5th, and even someone who next year,
especially if he balls.
I'm like if I can keep him in the 4th and he's a ball, and I know he's going to be the lead horse next year, then that's going to be a value. So
Yeah.
So I just want to say there's a couple like quarterbacks that are still there that could end up doing pretty well.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is not bad. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is like not my favorite. Sorry, Dre.
It's all good.
But
you know.
I mean, Ryan Tannehill, Sam Darnold. I mean, Phillip
Drew
Rivers,
Lock.
maybe. Drew Lock has a lot of potential upside. These are all guys. I mean, you could go in those last 2 rounds.
Probably the last 3 rounds, a lot of these guys would have gone.
But I wouldn't even be mad if I had a Ryan Tannehill, Drew Lock combo.
Yeah, the 1-2 punch.
I'm not. Because I really subscribe to grabbing 2 quarterbacks in the very end, and a lot of times I'll end up getting Big Ben in those rounds. I think Dre just was trying to mess with me, but
no. I mean, where I got him. I mean, shit. I don't think. I mean,
don't
I
think
got
it's
him
like
exactly where I think he's going to be. QB 18, dude. You're good.
I mean,
kidding.
you just ranked him as 21, and you said you moved him up
To 18.
to 21.
But now
That's what you
he's
said.
like 13. The more we talk about him, he's just getting better and better.
Yeah.
Minshew
Just
versus-
say, just
Minshew
throwing
versus
that out
Drew Lock?
there.
I mean, one thing I'm kind of looking at right here, it seems like a lot of receivers went in like the 4th, 5th round. I mean, like I
That's
said,
7 in a row.
I think I brought it up even when we were, mocking, saying how I feel like, there's this kind of when you get these like 4 or 5, 4, 5, 6 round area, like the type of value or type of talent for a receiver compared to the running back, I feel like it's not even close. So it makes me thinking early, like, okay, I want to make sure I get 2 running backs in the first, 2-3 rounds. And then once I get to rounds 4, 5, 6, I mean, there's a ton of talent there. I mean, even when you get to round 7, you still got guys like, you had Devontae Parker going there, Christian Kirk. I'm just looking at the names, you know what I'm saying?
So-
and
Sure.
even then, there's some names that, probably that could go that high. I mean, you got Brandon Cooks, Cortland Sutton, Jarvis Landry, McLaurin, Tyler Boyd, Robert Woods.
Look at that. What's interesting is
I mean, 6
Odell going in the 5th round.
and
That's
Juju,
pretty
Stephon
crazy.
Diggs. I mean, there's a lot. Even then, you got T.Y. Hilton, Calvin Ridley, those guys right there. So it's making me think like, okay, maybe
running backs first.
unless like one of these top tier receivers, like Anthony said, those big 4 kind of fall into my lap. I'm focusing on trying to grab one of these, like two of these like really good running backs, because like the talent for receiver in the middle rounds is a lot more prime than the running back talent.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I was just skimming. I was like, damn, where's a wide receiver drop off? And I'm like, Fuller still, Gallup still in the 7th. Like, that's like a wide receiver 2. Like, running back 2s are gone by way before that. Like, Breida, like 2 or 3 rounds ahead. So it's, unless your strategy is to dominate the wide receivers, if that's what you want to do, and then take, like your 4th and 5th round, it's looking like the running backs are going to be, by the 7th round, it's like few and far between.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Pretty interesting. Anything else you guys want to talk on before we wrap this up? Wrap it up like a teenager.
Subscribe
to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. And once again, shout out to Laces Out Fantasy Football. His link's down in the description down below. If you want to go check out his Instagram, he's got really good stuff. He posts pretty much daily content. I'm pretty sure it's daily. But either way, it's really good stuff. Go follow him. And go check out Real Deal Fantasy. Like I said, on YouTube, he puts out a video every single day just on fantasy football stuff. So, go check out those guys. Follow us on Instagram, on Twitter. All of those links will be down in the description below. What else? Oh, leave us a ranking or review on whatever podcast app you use. If you made it this far in the podcast, I just want to say thank you.
If you get 5 people to subscribe and I see them, I'll send you an In-N-Out gift card.
Bro, is that what our subscriber?
I did that last week. I had one person be like, "Bring me In-N-Out. I live in Philly," and I was like, "Fuck you, I can't. That's too far away." Trigger Mike was Trigger Mike. He's like, "Bring me some In-N-Out." I was like, "I can't to Philly, bro. Go eat you some else." But that's what I'm throwing out. So if you subscribe, I'll send you a gift card. The thing is, you don't know how much is going to be in the gift card. But
shout out Trigger Mike.
It's one of those scratch things. It could be $1. It could be $50.
It could be 25.
Just we start printing out our own.
It could be good for a Neapolitan shake, but it's worth the gamble.
But okay,
do it.
So, like I said, thank you for checking us out. Okay, you guys talk for a second, real quick.
No, talk for a second. We're here to talk for a second, and we're here to do that. And thank you for hearing that.
Yeah, just noticed my soda water.
Subscribe, bro.
Thanks for listening. And we're out of here. Do it. To it. Every Thursday, baby.